It's been a pretty productive day here in Ontario. I'll be leaving soon. I'm on Gail duty, taking Gail to the airport. Now, Dad left and went home the other day, but because Curtis, I'm not the only one that's very busy in this family, and Curtis is in Prince Edward Island doing the Canada Games. So I guess these week qualifiers for the Olympics were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Canada Games are in Prince Edward Island the next 2 weeks, so Curtis couldn't even go and accept his award in Florida. So Jamie and Lennon, Amy's Curtis's wife and daughter, and my mother, Gail, his mother, went to the Dan Patch Awards and accepted the award. Jamie did a great speech, and she came back home last night, so taking Mom to the airport now, drop her off at the airport, and then I'm going to head right to Ohio. I usually go a little bit later, but there's no point. By the time I drop her off at the airport and head back to my house, I'm going to be in traffic. It just makes no sense. So I'm going to go straight to Ohio, get in around supper time tonight. I guess I'll be forced to eat supper in Ohio.
Or you.
And obviously tomorrow is going to begin a long couple of days and wet couple of days for me. Going to try and beat the rain with the babies tomorrow in Ohio. By all accounts, everything's been going well there. 3-year-olds trained today there. Sister Solange and kind of classy are going to qualify tomorrow. I won't be there to qualify them, as I'll be in Pennsylvania racing. LD's Patrick, trying to get our problem children straightened away. We sold Lady All-Star yesterday. It really wasn't her fault. Just decided that it was going to be a long and rigorous year for her, and decided to turn her over rather than cross our fingers. We did enough hoping and praying this week at the stable. LD's Patrick, as I said, another one of our problem children. I never thought I'd have to say that, but he has been. So he's in to go tomorrow. We're going to race him in the mud at the Meadows, and then come back to race Stonebridge Hecate, or Hecate, as everybody in the U.S. calls him apparently. Stonebridge Hecate, and first start back for Blue Tesla. Trying to get her over a little tie-up and some foot soreness, but she schooled really well last week, so I'm optimistic about her start back tomorrow night. Thursday, it's going to be plus 22 at Celsius at the Meadows is the forecast, and sunny, so HP Maestro did drop down a class. They finally filled another class for him, so Tim had asked to put him in there. I said, yeah, if he's going to win it, great, and then he can come back to Northfield when Stonebridge Hecate leaves to go to Miami Valley. So that's what went on. That's what will go on with racing and training over the next couple of days. What did go on today? A couple of horses went to, 3 horses went to the vet. Most importantly, we took JK Victory to the vet today to get looked at now. Your normal type of stuff. Some things to work on that we knew were there. I think the timing, as I said, I have to put his start the other day on my shoulders. That's on me. Whether I meant to or not, I believe I put a little pressure on Harry. Truthfully speaking, what should have happened is we should have done the vet work, schooled him to make sure that we were comfortable and the horse was comfortable in his surroundings on his track with the corks on, and then race him. Instead, the opposite happened. Put him in to go, and then we realized that he was not comfortable. Didn't seem to be any overall lameness. The vet said nothing new. There was some old remodeling of a line when he was a baby from a cannon bone right hind. Right hind sesamoid was a little bit rough. We knew that going in. That was injected today rather than just shock waving it like we did last week. I think that will be much more productive. And then right front ankle on his, you know what his ankle looks like? His right front ankle looks a little bit like no free lunches. A couple of old remodeled lines in that right front sesamoid. This might be concerning to a lot of people, but these are the types of things you're going to see with old horses. And quite frankly, we had the horse checked out when he got here and knew they were there. And if we had the horse checked out before he left, it still would have been a purchase. This wouldn't have been something to say, no, I'm going to stay away from that. These are the types of things you're going to see from high-speed race horses from time to time. We do see them with Lunch. We did see them with Locatelli when we bought him also. So these are not new things to this horse. We did address them today. We will be removing the cork, probably schooling him this week or even maybe next week, but you can be sure the next time he goes behind the gate, he will be ready to go. That is important. We're taking International Spy to the vet just to get looked at today, and Rito's Lady to the vet also to get looked at. We had some horses looked at the other day in Ohio. Dr. Latessa decided he had spoke to the surgeon about Sedona Hills, that small chip, and the surgeon said don't take it out. So she's not going to have it out. It'll be easily manageable. I think that was the overall message from the surgeon was, if this is manageable and it will rectify itself, should this come out or not. And overall, he said no. Leave it in. He believes it'll reattach or dissolve, one or the other, but he believes it's manageable and it does not need to come out, which I was a little surprised to hear, but I'm not a surgeon or a vet. So I'll defer to both of them. Sedona Hill will will return to training full-time now starting tomorrow. Vaquero Blue Chip will be castrated. He'll have to go to Brown University to be castrated. He's originally. That's fine also. And Blanton's Blue, he did say, you know what, given the fact that he's going to have to race on a half, it is in the left ankle, it could cause secondary issues down the road. We will take that chip out. So that OCD fragment will come out of Blanton's Blue's left hind ankle, and we'll castrate him at the same time also. All that'll be taken care of. I don't foresee any issues with the two going to the vet day. Truthfully speaking, I wouldn't mind hearing there was an OCD in Rito's lady. With that rickety gait that she is going now, it's going to be a chore to get her up to top speed and training down. Unless she improves. It could be the corks, it could be a number of things, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if I heard, oh, there was an OCD in an ankle somewhere or a hock. I'd be okay with that also. So that's where we are with all the veterinarian work. Now the horses that trained today, I trained Crantini again. No, didn't throw his head again. That's 5. 5 times in a row I've gone with this horse and he has not thrown his head once. Very impressive. Very impressed with the way he did that. Brace for Landing trained good today. Locatelli was in the bike 1 mile and 2.4. James said he was very good. I saw Amy go out the door with White Tiger to train her. Everybody is full speed ahead right now. Tomorrow, More Than You Know and World for Two train 2 trips. They school on Friday, and I love they're going back 2 days. I want them tight. They are, Dominic's taking 7 to the track tomorrow to train. I think 6 or 7 are going to the track tomorrow to train in the race bikes. So as I said, all the sophomores here full speed ahead. The sophomores not quite to that level yet. They're just training in Ohio. I haven't got an update yet, but I would have heard if anything was wrong. I was very happy with what I saw the other day from the sophomores in Ohio. So really happy with, might be Tuesday, but feels like a Monday here in Ontario with the way the horses train. Now I'll get to the way the babies train today. Today I wanted to stretch them out a little bit more. I wanted to see, okay, where is everybody at? Now, the first set we were rocking pretty good. We come a last half in 111, 112, which is more than enough for these horses, but it also gave me a pretty good idea of who's not quite ready to do that yet. That's important. That's not to say they're not good enough, but it is very, very, very important that we know where their top level is right now. What can they do, what they're comfortable doing, and what they're not comfortable doing, and then reassess. So drop them down a little bit. For the horses like Flashfly was stretched out a little bit last half in 111 or 112. James said she was good. She just can't go with Drebin right now and Insider Trading. Those two, so I guess I'll set the table by telling you how it worked out. I get over the half in 125, 124, and we were rolling. 136, 135, 137. Drebin was wrapped up in the irons. Felt like he could qualify right now. I don't need him to feel like that right now. He was amazing, though. Insider Trading was right on my bumper. On the outside of me was Seasons of Love. It looked like Mario was going to take a run at Drebin, and Drebin said, hold your horses there, dear. Sit back there. I went under the wire, wrapped up, almost to the point where I just seesaw Drebin going under the wire. Not hot, just sharp and feeling good. Seasons of Love was beside me. Insider Trading right on my bumper. Don't Talk About Bruno. It made a little break. Flashfly was 5th. I think 1, 2, 3, 4th in behind me, Mario, and Danny. Flashfly was 4th, and the other two had made little breaks. Hallie in the Clouds, I think when I stepped on it, Amy just moved her over and thought that she was going to shoot forward. She might have put a little step in and dropped a bit in the last turn and rolled off, but as I said to Amy, honey, if you could get her to trot like I could, what's it say about my last 22 years on the track? So she just needs, when I went with her the other day, she just felt like she could go as fast as a car. So I think, you know, just not having that driver mentality, not having her right on the bit moving forward, and then combine that with such a quick last 3/8 of a mile also, I think that maybe Hallie in the Clouds just put a step in and Amy lost her, but I'm not worried about Hallie in the Clouds in the least. She had said maybe I'll find a different one to go with next time. But Hallie in the Clouds, certainly no concerns there. And then don't talk about Bruno again. Johnny said, he just put a little step in. Now remember, this is Bruno that was making breaks in the last turn. To go from making breaks to a fast last 3/8 is quite a transition there. And although he made a little break today, Johnny said he just overstepped himself. So, but the fact that both of them wanted to is important also. So we got a real good look at all those horses. Of everybody in the first set, I think the only horse that I dropped down a little bit and throttle her back would be Flashfly. This is a filly that's going through these huge growth spurts. She's got a great attitude. We're just going to back her up just a little bit, get the corks off her also, and keep her to a point where we might go in 230, but it's going to be a more even mile, or 235 for a little bit. There's no problem there. That's plenty for these horses. So really, really happy with the way the first set looked. The only two breakers, I can explain why, and I don't think they can't handle the speed, just in the setting today, maybe over-trotted themselves. Then we went to the second set. I was floored by the improvement from Time Is On My Side. Him and Winter Bells were kind of layovers, aside from Lonely Lakewood was right beside us. Now he's heading to the vet tomorrow to get that membrane trimmed and open up that palate so that or open up that epiglottis so he's not entrapped. He'll probably miss a week anyway, but he was very good today again. We were smoking pretty good in the end of it, and Winter Bells and Time Is On My Side, top of the class here in Ontario for us, and to have a trotter come first over and just kind of sit outside right in the rear view mirror.
Police reported ahead.
Right in the rear view mirror of Winter Bells, and then finish up right beside us is a tribute to him. That was a very, very, very good horse. But I was so pleased with. I was right on the bumper of Winter Bells, and then as we came halfway down the lane, Johnny moved over a bit, and I kind of slithered through. And what I wanted to see if he'd want to take a hold of the bit is I moved him as much to see what he'd do as much as anything else. And as soon as I moved through to him, I just chirped to him. He shot right through, and I don't know if I got by Amy yet, but after the wire and into the turn, we were both pacing really hard. Winter Bells and Time Is On My Side, Lonely Lakewood looked amazing. James's Trot and Colt Blarney Castle made a little break coming to the half. He said he let his hobbles out a bit, but that was lots for any of them. James Arthur made a break, but I guess a little too much for James Arthur. It's good now because I think we can have three distinctive classes for a little while. The horses that should stay around 245, 250, you know, that's at Rito's Lady, and any of those horses that, just looking now, Great Bet, Jayport Beach Boy, those horses are trotting, are pacing good and doing their work well, but again, could stand for a little throttle back the next little while. They were very good today also. So James Arthur made a little break, just overpaced himself starting into the backstretch. Blarney Castle made one, and Watch Your Mouth was right behind us, looked very, very good also. So 4 from the first set were very good, 4 from the second set very good. Last set, there was a little stunt, and McPaisley ended up going in that set with Mario and Watch Your Mouth. Kenny ended up going with. So we had a good set there. McPaisley moved from the third to the second set by accident, but she did her work very well also. So we only had 5 left for the last set. I stepped aside. I said, James, you go with Punch the Clock, right? I'll go train Crantini. You go with Punch the Clock. So easy in the turns. George of the Jungle, Punch the Clock, Jayport Beach Boy, and Great Bet. James said Punch the Clock was so much better. He said she wanted to go so hard down the lane. He said, I just moved her over almost to say, listen, you're going to make a break. You can't do what you think you can do right now. And sure enough, she rolled off right at the wire. But easy in the turns. I was coming at them jogging with Crantini, getting ready to train, and they were finishing up their mile. I saw the whole thing unfold. George of the Jungle made a break on the front. I think, as I said to Johnny, you know, every time we get this guy shot, his feet are going to get a little sore. It's going to put a little pressure on his knees. He's a little pigeon-toed to begin with, so we're going to have to be aware of that. Get him shot, get the corks off him, blister his knees, keep maybe the bell boots on him, keep a head pole on the inside of him. I'm not worried about George, but again, George could be another horse. Maybe not ready to drop the hammer with George just yet, but he looked good right up until he made the break. Both him and James just looked like they over-trotted themselves, and that left 3 horses together right across the track. Jayport Beach Boy, Great Bet, and Easy in the Turns looked great finishing up their mile. So we had 4, 5, 3, that's 12. 12 that were perfect, and amongst those 6 or 7, we can start throttling them back a little bit. Obviously, I didn't go with Spy today. I jogged him a little bit yesterday. He was good. I just want to get a clean bill of health and get him shod fresh and reset him and start over. So probably who you'll see in that 240, 245 range would be Spy, International Spy, George of the Jungle. We could easily leave Great Bet and J-Port Beach Boy down in there also. Mick Paisley would be 5. James Arthur would be 6, maybe. Watch Your Mouth, 7. Blarney Castle, I'm sure James wants to throttle him back to 40, 45, would be 8. And Flash Fly. So you have 8 or 9 that want to just pump the brakes with them a little bit, keep them around 240, 245, whereas the other 12 or 13, we can get them down around 232, 233, 234, somewhere in there, keep them in there for the next couple of weeks. And I made a decision that the landing horse, what the hell's his name? I'm losing. Ready for Landing. He's coming home to Ontario. We drew papers today. We'll get health papers on him, and the next time Doyle is going to Ontario, Ready for Landing will regain his Canadian citizenship, and we'll get him back going in the top set. He's been very, very good also. So really, really happy. Today, I didn't know how it would go. Would the weather hold up? Would the track hold up? Which horses would train? Would they train good? How would the babies look? How would the vet report on JK Victory look? All these things were in the air. And now that it's 12:40 on 12:40 here on Tuesday, I can't say that I could be any happier than I am right now with everything I've heard from today. The only piece of information I'm left waiting for is an update on how the sophomores trained in Ohio. But again, they're just really in 1.5 mile, 225 mode. I don't imagine there's going to be any, wonderful glowing reports. Yeah, they did their work. They look good. But you can't say, oh my God, the horse was awesome. They're all supposed to be doing that. So I trained Crantini. He was good again. I trained Brace for Landing. I thought he was very good again. So again, full speed ahead with all the sophomores. Very, very happy with that. So, whew, there's a lot to talk about.
You can do it.
You see how the videos are made?
Mm-hmm.
So, that is all for today. We don't have anything racing. Tomorrow we have a number of horses going behind the gate, a number of horses racing in Ohio, Pennsylvania. I don't think we have any in Ontario, but overall I've been happy with the way everything's turned out. Yes, JK Victory really, really was the skunk at the tea party this week, but at the same time, more than enough reason to, and we'll get him squared away. Cash Deals made a little break on Sunday, but very happy with her. Mario, I thought maybe we'll put the hobbles back on her, but I thought before the break, I thought that maybe he got greased a little bit. Anthony came out. He needed more than enough time too, but Mario had to snatch her up, and when he did, she made that break, but looked like she finished up her mile and did well after. So hobbles or no hobbles, I'll leave that up to Mario. I'm excited to hear how World for Two and More Than You Know, school on Friday. There's some stuff coming up for More Than You Know also. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. 18 minutes you got. No more, no less, 18 minutes of updates on Tuesday, February the 21st. So, there you go. Hope you had a great day, and I hope you have a great night. Take care.